And welcome into the Xtra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Garrett Miller, and alongside me, it's the one, it's the only. It's Brooks Childress. Brooks.
Yes, dear.
How you doing today?
I am doing absolutely fantastic, and do you know why I'm doing absolutely fantastic?
Why is that?
It's Super Bowl week.
That is true. Super Bowl is here, Super Bowl 52, up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Philadelphia Eagles will look to take on the defending Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots, and what is sure to be a Super Bowl filled with exciting storylines and a lot of heartbreak.
For Philadelphia.
So you say that. I like the Eagles. I like the chances that they could, and the problems that they could bring up for the Patriots. So obviously, our show today will be very Super Bowl heavy, but don't worry, we have other things. As in Auburn basketball, 11th in the new AP poll, and a 2 seed in the Joe Lunardi bracketology that came out. So Auburn basketball is looking on the up and up right now, as they have a game tonight against Ole Miss on the road at I think 9 Eastern, 8 Central, over on ESPN channel, whatever they have these days.
I think it's the SEC Network tonight.
There you go. And then, we have some other stories. For example, I'm sure people have heard about the Michigan State stuff. That's a whole situation. Blake Griffin got traded. That happened last night.
Jabari Parker's coming back.
So there's a lot
John Wall's going away.
That John Wall's out the 6 to 8 weeks. After he's going to undergo a operation tomorrow, I believe. And there's a lot of information going on in the sports world today, but we'll kick it off with the Super Bowl. Now, as always...
Before we start, I think I need to be a little more appropriately dressed for this. People on TV can see it, but no one else can. But I'm, once again, taking off my jacket and donning a Patriots t-shirt this week.
Wait, is that this year's championship shirt?
No, this is last year's AFC championship shirt that I finally got this Christmas.
So
awesome. In the back.
You can't even keep up with the shirt, with the memorabilia coming out.
Listen, this is a good shirt.
It hurts me every time I see a different shirt like that.
You want to know a fun fact?
What?
This is my first AFC championship shirt I own.
Really?
There's
a lot. There's a lot of
that back. I do own another one. This is only the second. Most of my Patriots championship apparel is AFC East championship stuff, which is like really random. Like, no one who buys the AFC East championship stuff. Like, well, we expect to win.
If you're a Browns fan and you finally win the division, there you go. I'll wear it.
You mean when they win it on Madden?
That too. Hey, I took the Browns to the championship in Madden. But let's start the show off with the Super Bowl. As always, if you want to call in and talk to us on the air, get your opinions out there, you can at 334-844-9345. Brooks is manning the phones today. So
we don't have an intern.
Yeah, we don't have an intern.
Applications are open now.
Yeah. We're not that fancy, so...
we can't give you college credit.
Yeah, we can't. We actually can't really give you anything.
Yeah, just sit here and answer the phone for us.
But our sweet and tender love, we can give you that. Actually, Brooks can give you that.
Can I? If they're a Patriots fan, I can.
If they're a Patriots fan. Once again, that's 334-844-9345. You want to talk about the Super Bowl, Auburn basketball, or anything else in the sports world. If you want to hear what we think about it, just call into that number. So let's start with the Super Bowl. Eagles.
You mean the big game? It's the big game.
Whatever you want to call it. Eagles, Patriots, obviously up in Minneapolis, because we were wondering if the Vikings would be the first team to be able to host the Super Bowl in their own stadium. They will not. The Eagles took care of that very quickly in a rout. The Patriots snuck past the Jaguars in a heartbreaker for Jacksonville fans, but they had nothing to hang their heads on. So now we move on to the next chapter, Super Bowl 52. Ageless Tom Brady. Will he have Gronk? Well, I'm going to say yes. It looks pretty good that Gronk will be ready to go for a Super Bowl in some capacity.
I don't think it's a it's obviously not a foregone conclusion that he's going to be there or he's not going to be there because concussions are strange injuries. Because you never know, like, it could be a minor concussion. He could be out for a week or two. It could be a major concussion. He could miss the rest of the season like Wes Welker used to do. So I don't think it's a big problem, though, if they don't have Gronk, because the Patriots' offense is built not around it's not centrally built around one necessary player besides Tom Brady. Obviously, I don't think they're going to have the success they have without Tom Brady. But with, your pieces like Gronk, Amendola, Chris Hogan, Deion Lewis, you're not centering your offense around one person. Obviously, it would help if Gronk was there because he's, Gronk. You can't take him down. He catches the ball. He can run over 3 or 4 people before you get him on the ground. But and the Patriots have already proven they can win a Super Bowl without Gronk on the field. I think it was the Seattle Super Bowl. Gronk wasn't on the field. When was it last year?
But you have to admit, this Patriots offense is a lot more, I want to use the word fragile, I guess, that sometimes it's just not clicking. For a couple of drives. Like, a couple of drives in a Jaguars game, were you kind of thinking, that's not usually what the Patriots do, or, man, that's just not connecting. That doesn't look right.
Watching that Jaguars-Patriots game.
It's not as potent as it usually is sometimes, it feels like.
Watching that Jaguars-Patriots game, the bigger deal to me was the defense in the first half and the offense. Because you knew going in, Jacksonville's got one of the best, if not the best defense in the league this year. Mm-hmm. And so you knew the Patriots offense would have trouble moving the ball because the Patriots offense has never been one of those offenses that's like, we're going to go down and score every single time. They're going to score and score and score just enough to beat you if you're, a decent team. And the Jaguars came out ready to play that first half, and so they shut down the Patriots offense mostly in the first half until that last little bit. Like, last part of the first half, Patriots came alive, took the momentum back into the second half, took the momentum on to win. I think the bigger issue for this game is, even though it's Nick Foles, like you say, it's Nick Foles. Oh, Nick Foles, a backup quarterback. I mean, Nick
Foles did lead the Eagles to a playoff, to the playoffs one season.
Yes.
So,
but you think, it's just Nick Foles, and that's fine. It's just Nick Foles. But this Patriots defense started off the year horrible. It was a horrible defense.
Swiss cheese.
And it got better as the year went on, as most Patriots teams do, because they start off, they don't start off top form in August like some teams, like the Chiefs. Chiefs will come out firing in
they did.
August.
And they went into a slump.
They fall down. And so...
They didn't get back up.
And so they will... They started off weak, got stronger as the season went on, but Nick Foles is not a terrible quarterback, as we've seen him go against the very good Vikings.
Come on now.
I can't speak today.
Come on.
The very good Vikings defense. There's too many V's in that sentence that I was trying to structure. So I think the bigger issue, like I said, the bigger issue is the defense. Can the Patriots defense do what they did to the Jaguars offense in the second half? And another thing on that subject, the Eagles' offense is more balanced than the Jaguars. Jaguars, they're going to tell you, we're going to run up the middle with Leonard Fournette, and they ran up the middle with Leonard Fournette. That's a very base offense with Jacksonville. They relied on their defense to win them football games.
But man, Blake Bortles looked good. And fourth quarter is a different story because he had to come back and, came up short. But man, Blake Bortles he wasn't himself, or he wasn't his usual self. I guess it's a good thing. He was
better than his usual self. But with Nick Foles and this Doug Peterson ran offense in Philadelphia, it's a more balanced attack. They got LeGarrette Blount to run the ball, former Patriot. They can air it out. It's a much more balanced offense that you have to spend more time preparing for than, say, Jacksonville, when you're like, okay, so what we have to do is stop Leonard Fournette and make Blake Bortles beat us. And Blake Bortles couldn't beat them because at the first part of that game, Leonard Fournette was running all over the Patriots defense. They finally shut him down. Blake Bortles couldn't beat him in the second half.
Is that the same game plan you're going in with the Eagles, make Nick Foles beat us? Or do you even want to dare him to do that? Because we saw we did, because the Vikings defense It wasn't better than the Jaguars, I don't think, but they still had a good defense, and Nick Foles made them look like child's play out there.
I think the key to beating the Eagles in this game is shutting down, for the Patriots, is to shut down the passing game. Because they've got good weapons on the offensive side. You got Zach Ertz. Is it Nelson Aguilar there?
Yes, he is there.
Nelson Aguilar. You've just got to shut down the passing game. Because their running backs, their starting running backs, LeGarrette Blount. If you're going to Garrett Blount,
here's the thing with the Eagles. The Eagles, the reason why it's so hard to name a lot of their weapons is because they have so many. Anybody in that offense is dangerous. Heck, even the linemen are probably dangerous when it comes to the passing game.
It
feels like the Eagles can plug in anybody. It's kind of almost a Patriots formula. You know how the Patriots that sometimes, Burkhead, Rex Burkhead, who was that?
Next man up mentality.
Yeah. It feels like the Eagles have really embraced that, and now they're just shooting off all over the place. And Nick Foles is a prime example of next man up mentality.
There was an article I saw the other day. I can't name it per se. I think it was written by, or it was either an article or something from a Pro Football deal run by Chris Collinsworth.
Okay.
Pro Football Focus, that's what it was. And they ranked like the top 20 players in the Super Bowl. 14 of the 20 were Eagles players. 14 of the 20.
There's a lot of weapons.
But on the other side of that, the past 3 Super Bowls that the Patriots have played in, this one, the Falcons, and the Seahawks, the Patriots' opponents have had more on. They've done this list for a few years now.
Yeah.
The Patriots' opponents have had the better players on those lists every time, and so it goes.
The ball.
It goes again. It's experience versus a good Eagles offense.
Yeah.
So, which is going to bend and break?
There's not many Eagles on that team that has Super Bowl experience.
And something else that plays into the fact, Nick Foles made the comment the other day at their media availability that he's never even been to a Super Bowl. Like, as a fan, he's never been to a Super Bowl game. So,
I mean, he has on Madden.
Well, I mean, I'm sure on Madden. I've gotten to a Super Bowl on Madden.
That's setting the bar very low, Brooks. But
that hurt me a little bit.
Now, I guess this is the time, there is no other show before Super Bowl, which means Super Bowl picks are now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we didn't really think this far, did we?
Well, technically I've been thinking about this since September.
All right, calm down. All right, Super Bowl picks. I want you to go first. Actually,
I'm trying to remember. Do you remember who we picked at the beginning of the season?
Oh, man. I picked the Patriots.
Yeah, I know. I picked the Patriots, too. Do you remember who you picked from the NFC? I don't think it was the Eagles. Because no one saw this breakout year from Carson Wentz coming.
No, I think I picked. I don't even remember who I picked.
I want to say I picked at the beginning of the season. I want to say it was either Seahawks or Packers.
You know who I went with? I went with the Seahawks. I did Seattle, New England.
So I wonder if I did the same as you or if I went Packers.
You may have went Packers. We didn't have the same thing.
I must have gone Packers. And again, who could have foreseen Aaron Rodgers getting, hurt mid-year and then them just fall off?
Yeah. Well, I wanna get the Super Bowl pulled up on ESPN. So the line is New England by 4 in Vegas, and the over/under is 48. So we're going to be scoring in the 20s here.
That's about a Patriots football game. I think the most I've seen them score is upwards around 40, and that was against the Raiders in Mexico City this year. They scored a lot of points. It was upwards of 40. All
right, so picks. Here we go. You go first. You're not going to be biased at all.
No, no, as everyone can see, or you heard earlier, I'm full out Patriots garb. I think, unbiased opinion, even though it may not look so, I've got to go with the experience. I got to go with Belichick and Brady because they've been there. They know how to win in this situation. Like Belichick said last night, the only thing different about this Super Bowl for him is it's in Minnesota.
That's true. That's a
great quote. It's in Minnesota. So I'm going to go Patriots 28, Eagles 21. I think the Patriots pull another win in the fourth quarter where they have to come back from behind and win because the Patriots aren't a first-half team for some reason. So there's my pick. Unbiased opinion. And again, like I said, it may not look like it.
For me, it's hard because I want to say the Eagles will come out firing and the Patriots get into a hole that they can't dig out of. Then I have flashbacks to last year where they were in the hole and they dug themselves out. So
the biggest hole ever, and they dug their way out of it.
I would rather be right than to go with my heart and say the Eagles will win. So I'm going to say Patriots win, and I'm going to say 30-23. Tom Brady leads a game-winning drive down, and he's going to hit Deion Lewis out the backfield for a touchdown, go 30-23, and win the Super Bowl for the Patriots. That'll be my Super Bowl pick. I went really in-depth right there, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Caleb, we'll talk about some Auburn basketball. All right, and as always, if you want to call in and talk about Auburn basketball, talk about Super Bowl, go back on and get your opinions on that. Make sure you call in at 334-844-9345. That's 334-844-9345. I feel like a telemarketer saying that.
Call now. 3 easy payments.
3 easy payments of $19.95. You'll listen to the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com.
It's the ShamWow.
And welcome back into the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com. You can always catch us as well at 5 Eastern on EagleEyeAuburn.com or Eagle Eye TV Channel 6 on campus here at Auburn University. Because, you guys got pretty faces. And Brooks is Patriots gear.
Yeah, it's very good. This is a brand new shirt I got at Christmas. Y'all should see it.
And as well, if you want to catch up on any of the shows, all of them are on SoundCloud and on iTunes at WEGL 91.1 FM. We're going to go on to...
Who can get enough of hearing me talk?
I'm already having enough with you talking. We're only 19 minutes into the show.
But we're done with the Patriot stuff now. For now.
It doesn't make me feel any better.
I'll bring it back.
And as always, if you want to call in, give us your sports opinions or give us a topic to talk about, see what we think, you can always call in at 334-844-9345. Brooks will be on the other line to answer your call, and we'll put you on the air.
Still accepting applications for an intern.
Yeah, that too.
Unpaid, no college credit intern. You're just here.
You're just here. Well, you get to hang out with us. And
you get to be in my presence.
Yes. And Brooks will give you all the unrequited love that you want. Valentine's Day is coming up.
I'm very lonely.
Ditto. All right. So let's go on to Auburn basketball. Once again, you want to talk about some Auburn basketball? That's 334-844-9345.
Can I just take this back 1 second to the NFL? And I just want to point out something before we get to Auburn basketball.
Okay.
Do you know what I decided to peruse this weekend?
All right. First of all, use a big word in peruse. Yeah. So this better be good.
I decided, for some reason, I may have been gone clinically insane for like 30 seconds. I turned it over to the Pro Bowl.
Why?
I just wanted to. I forgot how bad it was. Did you know the ratings went up this year for it?
I honestly forgot the Pro Bowl happened. That's why we didn't talk about it.
They announced yesterday. Roger Goodell was on The Herd with Colin Cowherd yesterday, and he was like, he's told us the ratings went up for the Pro Bowl. I'm like, how? You didn't watch any of the Pro Bowl?
No.
They weren't even tackling. Like
I saw somebody had a pick six interception and the tackling was just abysmal.
On run plays, they would wrap up the running back and they'd blow the whistle. They wouldn't even let the running back try to break free or go down. They stopped the game.
I understand why, because you got to make that money. You know what I'm saying? You can't be getting hurt.
I mean, let them play.
All right, let's put it this way: if Tom Brady wasn't in the Super Bowl and he played in the Pro Bowl and he tore his ACL in the Pro Bowl, you would kind of be upset.
I would be, but let him play. I
agree. I'm just saying, man, money talks.
You can do the blow the whistle early for quarterbacks, like protect the quarterback. But if you're a running back, let him go. Let him go. Just let him run.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. If I was making $8 to $13 million a year, and I knew that if I get hurt in the Pro Bowl, that probably wouldn't happen. You're right. You better blow that whistle. I ain't trying to get hurt out here.
Best part of the day, though, was they did an interview with Drew Brees on the sideline, and his 3 sons were ball boys for the day, for the game. You know, quality time with Dad. So they're in the middle of doing an interview on ESPN with him, and one of his sons start roughhousing right there in the interview.
Yeah.
So obviously the camera guy is going to be like, let's look at the kids. One of the kids gets on the field, and during, like, they're playing football out there. Like, this is there in the middle of the game. They get on the field, and then the other son rips him back, which, best defense of the day anyway. And so Drew Brees finishes the interview like a champ. He doesn't, react or anything. He's like, now they're about to get in big trouble for getting on the field. And so I don't remember who the sideline reporter was. She walked away, but the camera stayed on him. And Drew Brees got down, and he had a dad moment. Like, he was talking to him, like, you know how dads do when you're little. Like, they get in your face, and they'll point at you, and they'll, like, talk to you sternly. And he was doing that. And then he pointed to the stands, like, you want to go sit in the stands, you better behave. I'm like, it made me happy, because I'm like, I got to see a dad moment from someone you don't think of as a dad. Even though they're dads, all the football players, they're dads. But you don't see them in their dad moments.
Hey, you want to be a Browns fan? You want to sit in that stand and be sad? How about that? That's good.
Did the Browns have any Pro Bowlers?
I'm sure they did. I mean, even the Colts have Pro Bowlers. I
but
think.
The Colts have a name.
That hurt.
The Colts have, who they have still? Like, Reggie Wayne? Is he still playing?
No.
I don't know Colts players. Who's y'all's running back?
Frank
No,
Gore?
T.Y. Hilton was there.
T.Y. Hilton, yes.
T.Y. was there. I didn't see any Browns play.
He may have been the only Pro Bowler.
Because I remember him catching a pass.
But anyway, what were we talking about? Auburn basketball.
All right.
Yes.
Seamless segue.
Seamless segue into Auburn basketball. Once again, if you want to call in and talk about Auburn basketball, or talk about how the Pro Bowl just sucks at tackling. Or if you want to talk about, if you agree with Brooks about, the Pro Bowl and, how they're not tackling, and maybe, let them play, call in at 334-844-9345. Toll free.
Yeah, toll free. Unless, if I ask for your credit card number, just go ahead and give it to me.
Go ahead and give it to them. Auburn basketball, 11th.
I'm just a starving college student. I need money.
Auburn basketball is 11th in the AP poll. They'll be taking on Ole Miss on the road at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And it is indeed on the SEC network.
Is there a line for this game yet?
It is Auburn by 4 points.
That seems about right.
Over under 162.
Is that just for Auburn?
Well, if Auburn comes out firing like they did against LSU, Brooks, we were both at the game.
Yes. Different capacities, though.
Different capacities. You were in the student section. I was over in donor seating and all that nice jazz. Auburn Arena has become a great atmosphere.
It was already.
And it's a home field advantage for Auburn. It's almost like Auburn football in a nutshell. You can't lose at home. But when you go on the road, it's like, oh, man.
Listen,
kind of scary.
Let me correct. Well, not correct, but add to what you just said. It's always been a great atmosphere in our Auburn Arena. Like,
I don't know, man. Two years ago, I was like, there should be more people at this game.
Listen, even when we were bad and not great, when like at the start of the game, the fans be hype and be going. It get to the end of the game and people will be leaving early because we're getting beat. But at the beginning of the game, the Jungle has always been one of the better student sections in the conference. I'm not going to say the country because you got places like the Muss, which I think that's Utah. You got Cameron Indoor, the Cameron Crazies. You got whatever they call people at North Carolina.
Students.
You got the Jayhawks. There's a lot of. You got Oregon. Oregon's a great student section. You got a lot of good student sections across the country. Auburn's is one of the best in the conference. And it, like you said, it gives them a great home court advantage, especially this Saturday when they came out and Mustafa dropped 16 right off the bat, and then didn't score for the rest of the game.
That was ridiculous.
He dropped 16, and everyone was just going nuts.
The moment Auburn was just making threes, but then that one play, I think it was Deshaun Murray, misses a three, but an LSU player tips it in for Auburn for 2 points. I was like, yeah, there's no way Auburn loses this game.
It was over in the first 5 minutes. Like I went back and watched the highlights after the game when they do it with Webb, where they put Rod Bramlett's call over the game action.
Yeah.
And one of the things he said is like, this game was over in the first 5 minutes. Like, you're right. 16 when it was like 16 to what? 2?
16 to 5, I think. Something like that.
It was over. Like,
it was ridiculous.
Immediately. Mustafa put that game away and then didn't score again.
And then I think I'm going to say 6 or 7 guys were in double digits for Auburn. I don't have the box score up. But Deshaun Murray played well. Anthony McLemore did his thing. obviously with the blocks, because, man, that guy, he's a blocking machine. I mean, Anthony McLemore leads the SEC in blocks, and he's about 20-plus blocks ahead of second place. That is ridiculous, how many blocks that man gets.
It's ridiculous how many, what's ridiculous how many threes Bryce Brown can hit.
Yes.
Bryce Brown, we've essentially built the Golden State Warriors at Auburn University, except not as good. Like, they're going to miss shots. Like, Bryce Brown isn't going to put up a circus three from, like, half court and drain it like
Let's
Steph.
do this. If Auburn is the Golden State Warriors, let's name the Warriors starting five. Let's match them to Auburn. Okay, so obviously McLemore is Zaza because he's the big guy.
Yes. Bryce Brown's got to be Steph because he's shooting guard, right? No, Steph's point guard. What is Steph? Is he point or shoot?
Okay, the way I look at basketball is you have two guards, you have two forwards. I don't care what you are.
All right, fine. Then Bryce Brown's a shooting guard, or is Steph?
I'm going by their play style. Who is who?
I think Bryce is Steph.
Bryce is Steph.
And I would have.
All right, who's his right hand man in Klay Thompson?
I'd have to say Jared.
Really?
Jared Harper. I think so. Wouldn't you? Because I think
I'm just trying to figure out where Mustafa fits in.
I think Mustafa would be a Draymond because he's big, but he can still hit the three.
Yeah, but
so
you don't really rely on Draymond to score points. So whereas we rely on.
So would you give Mustafa like KD?
Somebody has to be KD.
I would
say Deshaun Murray is more
Draymond
because Draymond's an all-around player, and show us Deshaun Murray, he gets the boards and he puts up points, but he doesn't have to be the leading scorer. He's Draymond.
I can get behind that. So that mean Bryce Brown is Steph, Jared Harper's Klay, Mustafa's KD.
Yes,
and then.
The only problem I have with that is I would turn around Bryce Brown and Jared. I would say,
so you'd say
Jared Harper is Steph and Bryce Brown is Klay, only because
I will say Jared will pull up from like ridiculous distance and just try to
that's why
something.
I say that. His points doesn't equal to Steph because Jared Harper doesn't have to score a lot of points because he has so much talent around him. So he doesn't have to drop 20 plus points a game. But he makes that offense go. The same way Steph makes the Warriors go.
True.
So points wise, yes, it'll be Bryce. But then all around wise, I would say Jared Harper is more Steph Curry.
I can get behind that. I like how this is our conversation now as we're comparing Auburn basketball to the Warriors.
I think we've gone too far.
That makes me so happy that we can do that.
Who would have thought? After that, because we were looking in our studio, well, I pulled up the picture of. I should probably pull it up for everybody watching on the stream or on Eagle Eye. So, unfortunately, people on the radio, you won't be able to see this, but this is a picture.
Tune in later.
Tune in later. So this is a picture of when Auburn lost to Missouri in the SEC tournament on that buzzer beater in overtime. As you can see, Brooks is on the couch, just defeated, and our friend Ron Lavoie is in the corner, and it wasn't a fun day.
It was not.
That was less than a year ago, and look where we're at now.
And the worst part about it is we'd already beaten them twice.
Yes, the worst part about it is we should have beat Missouri. Now, granted, will we have lost again? Will we have lost in the next round? Probably. But
you beat a team twice. I mean, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, but still, one of those wins was very convincing, too.
It was.
I'm just so happy Auburn basketball is relevant. We're a basketball school now.
We're a basketball school. We didn't talk at all about the game.
Well, we touched on it a little bit.
The only part we touched on was we're playing Ole Miss and the line is 4 points.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the LSU game.
No. I'm talking about the Auburn game. And there's other games to talk about. So how about this? When we come back, we'll talk about the Auburn game. We'll talk about a couple other games going on. And you know what? Let's talk about bracketology because I can't wait until we get into March Madness season and we fill out our brackets on the show.
I love brackets.
How many brackets do you make?
Usually 1 or 2. It depends on...
Like, for serious, I make, 1 or 2, and then I just like filling out brackets so much that I just keep doing it. I'm that guy. I'm the guy that has, 30 or 40 brackets just because.
I'll do, I don't do that many, but I'll always do, the second chance bracket when ESPN does that.
I sometimes like to do, coin flip, who would win in a coin flip.
Oh, I did that. I used to do that as my official bracket. I had, Georgetown winning 1 year and Richmond 1 year.
That's why nobody likes you. Anyway, thank you. I was about to sign off for a second, but
folks, we're done.
Stick around for the Extra Point. When we come back, we'll talk about some more college basketball. You'll listen to the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com. If you want to call in and talk about basketball, Super Bowl, or anything in sports, make sure you call in at 334-844-9345. We'll be back. And welcome back into the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com. Remember that you can always watch us on Eagle Eye TV, Channel 6, or Eagle Eye Auburn today at 5 when the video version of our show goes up. Or if you weren't able to catch the show today, and about 15 minutes after the show is done at about 2:15 Central Time, the podcast will be up for you and your listening pleasure.
You see, you say that, and then last week it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, last week we ran into a big problem.
And
that was the whole thing.
I just imagined just one random person, because no one listens to this show. Who would listen to this show?
How dare you? We are the best show in this time slot,
Jared,
in this area.
Jared, it's called self-deprecation humor. People like it. Who would listen to this show? And I've just imagined someone sitting at the computer just refreshing iTunes, waiting for our podcast to get posted. And they're like, oh, it's been 16 minutes. Come on now.
As always, if you want to call in and talk about some basketball as we get into college basketball, you can call in at 334-844-9345. Our intern / co-host / whatever he wants to be, Patriots fan, Brooke Childress will answer the phone, and we'll get you on so you can talk about some Auburn basketball, because Auburn plays Ole Miss tonight, 8 Central on SEC Network. Auburn is a 4-point favorite, 11th in the nation. Auburn is supposed to win this game. However, many people will call this a trap game for Auburn.
I like calling it a trap game.
We used to be the trap game, and now we're running into trap games.
The only problem is at this point, I'm calling every game for the rest of the regular season a trap game for Auburn. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I've watched Auburn athletics for 22 years. 22 years I've watched Auburn athletics. And if there's a way they can lose a game, they will find it.
They will find it.
And I've like I was telling my roommate the other night, I am basically sitting on the edge of the cliff. And the cliff is Auburn winning. All it takes is one push and to go over. I'm waiting for the collapse. Like, I'm happy that Auburn's winning, but in the back of my mind, I'm waiting for the collapse, because that's what happens. Like last year, we were so good in the non-conference season, and then we went 4-14.
Yeah, 4-14.
And it was just awful. We were awful in the well, I'm sure we were probably, I don't know if we were better than 4-14.
We were good enough to be an 11th seed in the SEC tournament. But put that in perspective.
We were so bad in conference play last year, and that's what I'm waiting on, is just for a total collapse.
See, what we thought would happen to Auburn is what happened to A&M. Because A&M has collapsed in SEC play. They don't know what they're doing right now. We thought that would be us this year. It hasn't been yet.
Not yet.
But look, 19-2. I can't hang my head on that.
No.
We're definitely a tournament team. We'll get in either way. Or at least throw us a bone, NIT.
Like I said,
if we collapse, the NIT's for sure.
When I said earlier, I mean, I'll be disappointed if we don't make the tournament after this so far we've done this year. But if for some reason we just collapse and we can't win a game forever again, this season, and we make the NIT, I'll be fine, because that'll be postseason play. I just want to get into postseason play. We could have gotten into the CBI last year, but we didn't, and I was so upset. I'm like, just let us have like postseason experience.
Here's the thing: we're gonna be happy when we make it to the NCAA tournament, but then we have to go through the stress of watching our team in the NCAA tournament, which I don't know if I can handle that. I can barely handle teams like Duke and North Carolina in the NCAA tournament. I don't know if I can handle Auburn.
I get stressed when I watch the team that I picked to win it. Like, I'll be sitting there, it'll be like Villanova's the 1 seed versus UNC Asheville, the 16 seed. I'm sitting there stressing like, oh no, they hit a 3. They are only down 19.
Okay, so let's look at some other games. There is a 3-game slate at 6 Central, 7 Eastern that I know a lot of people are looking forward to. Okay, so let's go with this. It's on the ESPN family of networks. I think I can actually say that.
Sure.
The way this is going. Over on ESPN, number 19 North Carolina travels to Clemson, number 20 Clemson. in a big ACC clash. Remember, North Carolina is coming off a tough loss, and they got to find a way to rebound. Luke May averaging about 19 points for North Carolina. This isn't the same North Carolina team that they usually are. This is probably a North Carolina team that probably won't get further than Sweet 16, if I had to imagine. So they really got to rebound against Clemson. And
Clemson's a tough place to play too.
It is a tough place to play. However, Clemson will be without their second best player. His name blanks on me, but I know they'll be without him. That's really bad on my part that I don't know his name. Too many players in college basketball.
Well, you see that I don't know if that necessarily makes a difference, because a few weeks ago you saw Auburn go into Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa, and Colin Sexton didn't play for Alabama. He's their number one player.
Here we go. And Dante Grantham is the guy they're going to be without. He was their second leading scorer. See, it was easy for me to figure that out. Then over on ESPN2 at the same time, Indiana Hoosiers take on Ohio State when they travel over there. Number 17, Ohio State. Ohio State a 10-point favorite. Ohio State's playing well enough to be what I think is a 2 seed in the latest bracketology.
They're playing that well. I haven't paid attention to Big Ten basketball this year.
I mean, they're 18-5. However, the Big Ten is a relatively tough conference.
I mean, yes, it is. You got Michigan. You got Wisconsin. Even though Wisconsin's not up to par.
Choo-choo.
I mean, you got the number, they're 2 or 3?
They are third in the nation.
Purdue. You always got Michigan State, which is going through a rough patch right now, but not basketball-wise, because they got a good win last night.
You never get through a rough patch when you have Miles Bridges. I'm just saying.
And you've got, places like Iowa and go to Penn State, and some of their places are hard to play in.
All right, so here's the...
Indiana's always a hard team to play.
Here's probably the most interesting game on here is number 23 Florida going on the road to Athens to take on Georgia. And the reason why I say this is interesting is because the reason why it's interesting here, is because Florida is the second best team in the SEC. And they're going to take on Georgia, who is projected as a last 4 team in for the latest bracketology. So this is an interesting game, and Florida's only a 3.5-point favorite on the road, and Florida has struggled with competition here and there from time to time. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of go about this, because they went on a little 3-game stretch with lots of Duke and FSU, and that's fine. Then they lost to Loyola Chicago, and that was a whole thing. And then they have losses on the road against Mississippi, which I guess that's one reason why Auburn should be, worried. And then they have a loss against South Carolina at home. So that's going to be interesting to watch as Florida takes on Georgia on the SEC network. And so now, looks like we have a caller on the line. Brooks, would you like to introduce us to our caller?
Well, I need to figure out how to put them on the air first. It's this button?
Yes.
So I push this button.
I mean, Brooks, there's a little
Turn this on. Well, I can't. I push this, and then I turn this on, and then I push this when it's green.
And then push it again. There you go.
So they're on the air?
Yes.
Can we hear them?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, look. We have a caller.
Oh, we do have a caller. That's
the first time we put someone on the air. I can do this. I'm a professional. This is Elizabeth from Robertsdale, Alabama.
Oh, hello, Elizabeth. I heard Robertsdale's a nice place.
It is. It's a lovely place. It's somewhere over the rainbow.
She's got well, let's calm down.
Brooks, do you know this person?
I may or may not know this person. We won't reveal the identity of our callers for, obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons.
But our caller has a question about football.
All right.
Okay. Like in a lot of games, why do some teams keep going up the middle when it's not working?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, look, the Patriots proved to the Jaguars why you can't keep running up the middle. And I feel like Auburn sometimes also proves that. Why do we keep running it up the middle, read option, up the middle?
Yes.
Some teams just think that they're stronger than the other one, so we're going to bully you around and try to beat you down emotionally.
I mean, Auburn did it this year, and it got them to the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Auburn kept handing off up the middle, up the middle, up the middle. They got to the Chick-fil-A Bowl with it.
Oh, but you didn't tell everybody how it ended, though.
Well,
because we're now in a big troll session with UCF.
Listen, it's fine. UCF can, they can sit down there. Alabama's the national champions.
Well, I think that after 2 or 3 times, they should stop going up the middle, because I think that the other teams kind of figured it out. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I agree. Speed sweeps. I love speed sweeps.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Just kind of do something wild and crazy, and it throws them way off.
2014 Auburn was an example of wild and crazy. Or 2013, I'm sorry. Wild and crazy with Nick Marshall. We were just throwing everywhere and running all these sorts of plays. And I know that a lot of people wish that kind of offense was back.
Well, I mean, this past year when you had Kerryon Johnson running up the middle, that eventually it took a little bit in the Iron Bowl, but eventually it set up that jump pass because Alabama was like, oh, Kerryon's got it. He's going straight at the middle. And then he jumped past it to, was it Darius Slayton?
I mean, it worked once, but I'm sure that people would like to see it more often.
Yes, and it's, if I'm predicting it at home, the other team's predicting it. So if I could put something in the suggestion box for a lot of teams, I think they just need to quit going up the middle so often. I mean, it wears the poor guys out, too, ones that's going up the middle.
I mean, that was a big concern this year was, oh, my gosh, we're not even going to be sure that we're going to have, running backs by the time we get to the SEC championship game. I think we should hire her as an offensive coordinator. What do you think?
I trust Chip. I trust Chip right now, but she does make some good points.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've got to go now. I've got to go tend to a little 10-month-old. So I will call in next week.
Well, tell your little 10-month-old that we said hey from the Extra Point.
Sure. And I will call back if I can get through.
Well, the lines aren't that busy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun.
That was something.
Brooks, I don't know your relationship to her, but I'm going to assume you're related.
I'll tell you during the commercial break.
All right, now we're going to take a quick commercial break.
I've had that argument many a time.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about, we'll figure out something.
Are we going to play our game?
We can play our game. Yeah, we can do that to end our show.
Our new game segment.
You listen to Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 FM or online at WEGLFM.com. If you want to call in, you can call in at 334-844-9345.
Come on, Dad. I'm running circles around you.
It's Matt Kemp, former Brave.
I guess, that makes sense.
Now, I'll give you this one. Adrian Gonzalez is owed $22 million by the Braves.
By the Braves. You told me that one.
And
I remember that one.
They've already released him after that trade.
And
we still owe him $22 million.
That's called Braves management.
Because Braves things.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the NL West. The Dodgers. No, not the Dodgers. I just did the Dodgers. I can't speak today. The D-backs. The D-backs. It is owing this player $13.5 million this year.
I don't know many.
It's a really bad contract too. Like, you're playing this guy $13.5, and you're like, why?
I don't really know many Diamondback players. The only one I knew was like Goldschmidt.
No, if he'd earned $13.5 million. This player. Do you remember 2 years ago the Cuban? I think it was Cuban. Yasmani Tomas. Everyone was after him.
Yeah, I remember him.
They're paying him $13.5. He's been a bust. I think he may still be in the minor leagues too.
Playing minor leagues, and you can pay $13.5. I think he's living the American dream.
He is. The Diamondbacks aren't. All right.
I'm really bad at this game. I'm really bad at baseball rosters.
Let's. Here's a name you should know.
Okay.
Let's go to the Cubs roster. Cubs are paying this man $28.2 million this year.
28.2.
You should know this guy.
Jason Hayward.
Yep. They're paying Jason Hayward $28.2 million.
Former Cardinal. See,
former Brave too.
I was like, it's either Jason Hayward or it's like they have a lot of young players, so a lot of them won't be having those big contracts yet.
No, but they will if they keep playing like they do. Is two teams? Two teams are paying one guy. This is cool.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
This one's fun. The Padres and the White Sox are paying this one guy. Padres are paying him $11 million, and the White Sox are paying him $10 million.
Which team was he with first? Do you remember?
I want to say the Padres. I think. He's jumped around quite a bit.
I do know the Cardinals traded John Jay to the Padres, but I don't think that's John Jay because they would not make that much money.
It is not John Jay. It's a pitcher. I'll give you that.
It's a pitcher.
Yes.
Ooh. Gosh, I suck at baseball rosters. There's probably people yelling at me right now. Like, it's obviously this guy.
I know. I'm sure Elizabeth from Robertsdale is yelling at you.
Oh, Beth from the Dale?
Sure.
As I will now call her from now on.
Oh, good.
I don't know.
It is James Shields. He is getting paid by two teams, both double-digit.
Because he used to be with the. Did he used to be with the Rays?
He was with the Rays.
See, if you would have asked me, I thought he was still with the Rays. That's how bad I am at baseball rosters, man.
All right, let's go to the Brewers. Another team in the Cardinals division. No, Princefield. He's retired, isn't he?
Look, the way baseball works, you can probably still owe somebody money and they're retired.
No, this guy's still playing for them, and they're paying him $20 million this year.
Is it Ryan Braun?
It is Ryan Braun. Look at you. You're doing better this week than last week.
Yeah, I got
this.
Got one. That's a divisional rival. I should know that one.
Well, you got two so far. Let's go to. I told you this one, but Angels are paying this guy $27 million.
Pujols.
It is Pujols. I told you that one though last week. But it's obvious.
When he left the Cardinals and signed that freaking 10-year, $250 million deal, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a bad deal. So that's not surprising. I could have just guessed that in my sleep.
All right, the Mariners are paying this guy $26.9 million this year.
Hernandez?
It is Hernandez. He's been hurt quite a bit, too.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. I mean, he's worth it when he's good. The Twins paying this guy $23 million.
Mauer.
It is Mauer. Look at you.
I'm on a streak. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling myself right now. Look, come on, let's keep going.
Tigers are paying this guy $30 million.
Verlander.
No. Verlander.
Did his contract go over to...
I think his contract went to the Astros.
Okay. Who else would they be paying a lot of money? Is he still with the Tigers?
Yes. He's a big name for the Tigers, too.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh, no.
I can tell you know
Is he their first baseman?
Yes.
Oh, no. Oh my, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Would you like me to just say it?
Can you at least give me his last name and hopefully I get the first name?
Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yep, Miguel Cabrera. You see, you knew, I'll give you that one because you knew it.
I knew it. It was just, oh my gosh. For some reason, I keep thinking Miguel Cabrera at the third baseman, and I don't know why that's the thing.
I don't know either. I think he may have been a third baseman at one point.
He may have been.
The Red Sox are paying this guy $22.7 million. He has not done anything astonishing since he's been at the Marlins.
I think we talked about this one. Isn't it Ellsbury?
No.
Wait, that's the Yankees.
Ellsbury, yes, the Yankees are paying Ellsbury $21.1 million this year.
And you said this guy hasn't done anything?
He hasn't done anything since he left the Marlins, really.
Oh,
we're running out of time here. I'm going to have to give you a time limit.
Shortstop, right?
Yeah.
Hanley.
Yeah, Hanley Ramirez.
Well,
all right.
I don't know why I'm also bad with names, as you can obviously tell.
All right, so we're getting down to it. So I'm going to give you two more, and then that'll be it for the game.
Okay.
Blue Jays are paying this man $20 million this year.
Is it Josh Donaldson?
It is not. That's a good contract. He signed a big contract, but that's a good one. He's worth it. He's an Auburn.
Oh, Jose Batista.
No.
Wow.
It is the man they got from the I'm cutting you off there after two guesses.
I was about to say, because I'm like two players I know on the Blue Jays.
He's the guy they got in the blockbuster trade a few years ago from the Rockies, Troy Tulowitzki.
Oh, too low.
And the final one. This guy was really good, and he's kind of fallen off. The Orioles are paying this man $21.1 million. He was really good.
Is he the pitcher or the outfielder?
He is a position player. He's not a pitcher. He sometimes DHs.
Oh,
he's a first baseman DH. He was really good a few years ago, and people were like, "Oh, can he break this home run record?"
I remember that. I remember because the Orioles were hitting home runs all over the place. I don't remember.
Chris Davis.
That's right, Chris Davis. As an Auburn student, I should really know that name better.
Probably.
Well, I did better in that game than I did last week.
Yeah, I'm
proud of myself.
I'm proud of you. You rattled off like
when it comes to sports, it's when it comes to sports, football, both NFL and NCAA are right there. Then it's basketball. Then I would say it's baseball. So baseball is my fourth sport, and I felt like I knew a good bit about these rosters without even looking over here because I don't even have baseball pulled up. So I think I did pretty well.
I'm proud of you. You did a lot better.
I'm proud of myself. But that's gonna do it for the show today. It's been a good show. I'm happy.
I'm happy. It was good. I think we handled everything well. Even though I couldn't put our one caller on the air.
Yeah, you struggle with that.
I got it.
And you said I struggle with callers.
Listen, now that I've done it once, I'll be able to do it again next week.
And there's like a list of what you have to do right there.
Jared, you try reading that on the fly when you're trying to get the
I can read it from right here.
Yeah, I can't read that on the fly.
Oh, my gosh. But thank you guys for listening to the Extra Point here on WGL 91.1 FM. Always Tuesdays at 1 Central, 2 Eastern here on 91.1 FM or online at WGLFM.com. If you want to catch up on us in about 20 minutes or so, give us a little bit of leeway there. We will have the podcast up on iTunes and SoundCloud at WGL 91.1 FM. If you want to catch us in video format, you can see Brooks's nice gear. You can see my hair still not done. You can catch us.
You can see my pretty face.
Nobody's ever said that.
How dare you?
You can catch us on Eagle Eye TV, Channel 6 on campus, or at eagleeyeauburn.com. As always, if you want to call in during the show, make sure you write this number down. It's 334-844-9345. That is the line to get onto the Extra Point here with Jared Dillard and Brooks Childress. That's 334-844-9345. Free easy payments in $19.95. No, I'm just kidding. So free.
We're basically like the ShamWow, except for sports.
Yeah, there you go. We soak it up from around the country and around the world.
We soak up all the sports and then we give it back to you.
And make sure you follow us on the Extra Point and on our Twitter accounts because, we're good follows.
Yeah, and like on the TV, right below my pretty face is my Twitter handle. You can put that, follow that.
That will do it for us. Same time, same place next week. We'll see you then.
By this time next week, Patriots will be Super Bowl champions.